Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday morning. Hope you're having a good week. Today is the 20th of April 2023. I have a question for you this to think about. What is modern day Babylon? What is modern day Babylon? In Revelation, we're given the account of the fall of Babylon. And I'm not an expert on history or Bible prophecy. But I do believe that God can reveal to us certain things. And I can tell you, the first time that I read through the fall of Babylon, what I thought about was the fall of America. And the reason I say that is because America, the United States, is probably one of the most prosperous nations in the world, has one of the strongest militaries in the world, is the seat of commerce, and is at the critical point of power for all nations. The United States pretty much controls the United Nations, and the United States has an office called the Pentagon, where a lot of things happen in the Pentagon. You say, why are you bringing this up? Because I'm into reality. I'm into reality. If in fact what I'm saying is true, which I believe it is true, I believe that America, United States, is part of modern day Babylon. And if we believe the Bible that Babylon is going to fall, then we can conclude that at some point America, United States, is going to fall. And when the United States falls, there's going to be much mourning. People are going to grieve. People are going to grieve, And I just wanted to remind you that the United States is not infallible. The way it comes across to other nations is that it is infallible. We are not infallible. And a lot of people think that we are. A lot of people think, well, look how many people we've defeated. Look how many third world countries we've taken over. Look how much influence we've had over the world. And we have. But, I just think that we need to be reminded that we're not infallible. We are not judgment free. God is not happy with the United States of America and what it's doing with its promotion of all of these lies. God is very angry with America. Revelation 17:5, and upon her head was written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. Well, we could read through other passages in Revelation 14, never followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. She made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Revelation 18:10, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Revelation 18:21, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. Revelation 16:19, and the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And great Babylon came in remembrance before God to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, the great city, is fallen, and become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Well, you might say, well, why are you bringing this up? Why are you bringing this up today? This is supposed to be a devotional time of encouragement and so on. Well, the reason I'm bringing it up because this is just on my heart, and I believe that the United States is getting close to falling. I think that God would have to apologize to Sodom and Gomorrah if he didn't bring judgment on this nation after what's going on with everything that we see in front of us. I think he would have to apologize to Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, now we have laws being orchestrated to mandate the be right to kidnap children from their parents and help them into gender mutilation and change. What kind of society would do that to their own children and the parents of children? It's absolutely criminal activity. Yes, I believe that God is sovereign over all of this. And our only answer is Christ. He's won the victory in all of it. But we must remind ourselves that the United States is not infallible. And I think that we have to we have to remind ourselves that America is not infallible, but it is going to be destroyed one of these days. You say, well, there's no record of the United States in the Bible. I disagree. Okay. It may not say, specifically United States of America, but I believe that America is representative of modern day Babylon. And I believe that we're going to see, if we continue to live in our lifetime, we're going to see great tribulation come upon America. And we're a very spoiled nation. We're a very spoiled nation. We've gone for 200 plus years without any major provocations on this nation. But we know that there's great nations that hate the United States, including Russia and China, who have now formed an alliance to bring down the destruction of America. And they have allies like Iran and Pakistan and many of the Muslim nations, and now part of the European nations like France, which seem to be jumping on board. And it says, I would recommend that if you get a chance today, read through the book of Revelation. Read through chapter 18 of Revelation. And as you read that, just think of America. Okay? Just think of America. On the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. The merchandise of gold and silver, precious stones and pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all fine wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and the souls of men. And the souls of men. And in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the company in ships and in sailors, as many as trade by sea, stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning saying, what city is like unto this great city? Just think how the big deal they made over 9/11. They made a big deal over 9/11 and 3,000 people dying. Just think of the big deal that's going to be made when we have literally millions and millions of people perishing. Well, I just would like you to contemplate these things and let us realize God is sovereign and has told us in advance what's going to happen in these regards. And, you know, if we're His, that gives us great comfort. If we know we've been adopted into the family of God, if we've been redeemed by His blood, if we have been blood bought, if we have been chosen in Him from the foundation of the world, if we've been predestinated into adoption, if we've been effectually called, we have much solace, do we not? May the good Lord be with you today in a special way is my prayer. God bless.